I'm going to go over your week 2 work. Now, you have a discussion, it's just like you did last week, and you get to choose between one of 2 questions. So you can pick which one you want. And the requirements are the same. Make sure to review the discussion video if you haven't, and also look at the discussion questions done right, sorry, document, which is a PDF, and it's right there. Oh, doing discussion questions, right. See, I got that wrong. Shame on me. That's the one you want to look at. And so after you look at that, you get to choose one of these questions. So you're going to examine and discuss the correlation of competitive strategy, organizational structure, and HRM orientation. So you can do that one, or you can analyze an emerging market and a developed market. Either one of these will require research. Make sure that you do that, and offer a source at the end of your initial post. And if you want maximum points, you need sources for your responses as well, which is covered in the video, but it's going to be the same format each week for these discussions. And make sure that you are, the best grades will come from discussions supported by research. Okay, now going into your second paper, you need to create a 3 to 4 page document. I don't know if I addressed this last week, but you definitely need to, when you're looking at page ranges, we're talking about content. We're talking about the body of the paper, not a title page, not a reference page, not an appendix, none of those elements are included in the page range. Only the body, the content of the paper. Just to clarify, I wanted to clarify that because I felt like I might not have before. So you're going to address each tasks, and you're talking about the World Trade Organization and the International Labor Organization. So you're going to have to do a lot of research on this one. When you go, I'm going to go into the rubric. Every week I'm going into this rubric because what I feel like students are missing the requirements, because the rubric is something you should be looking at, but I think it's not happening. So I'm just gonna, in other classes, so that's why I'm going over it in this class, because I'm going to start doing that. Okay, so this is the grading rubric, and I use this rubric, so I'll have comments on the side, and I'll have points, and in the end I'll have a summary, short summary. So each criteria needs to be met here, and in order to do that in the exemplary range, you need to meet these requirements. What you will notice is each section requires research, so you need to be very mindful of that, because that will cause you to lose points. You don't have any, you could get down here. This is the graduate program is heavily based, there's a heavy research component in each class. In each class there is, you're going to expect that. So in that case, I'm going to be looking for that. So the first thing you're going to do is analyze China's admittance into the WTO. So, and then you're going to basically talk about the WTO in general with pros and cons. And then you're going to analyze the role of the ILO and the impact it has on social responsibility, and then the pros and cons of the ILO overall. Okay? And again, each section, develop that section, support it with research. As far as APA guidelines, I follow them pretty strictly. You're going to have headings, you're going to have title pages, you're going to have running heads, you're going to have page numbers, you're going to have double-spaced reference pages, you need to have the title references. All of that I'm looking at when I'm grading the points here. Of course, this covers a lot. Mechanics, grammar, spelling, organization, transitions, tone, word choice. Just a lot of things here that I'm looking at. So I just wanted to go over that with you because that's just something, you know, this is what I use to grade. So therefore, when I'm looking at your paper and reading it, I'm going to be just like using this like a checklist. You know, did the student meet this requirement? Did the student meet this requirement? Is the content correct? Does it make sense? Make sure you're using credible references. Do not use any reference that you find. Don't use anything on the internet that can be updated by a person. Everything should be peer reviewed, and that's going to count too. So make sure that your sources are peer reviewed sources. Don't use about.com, eHow, Wikipedia, any of that. Use journals, use publications that are basically vetted. When it comes to materials being submitted, they're very choosy about it. So anyway, that's really all there is. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know, and have a great week. Thanks for listening.